And I was going to show my dad that no, I'm not that. I'm not that. Even though I messed up, I had her out of wedlock, father's in prison, but I'm not that. That's not me. I'm more than that. I'm gonna make it. And the 10 things that I have done while waiting for Marchello. It's almost like, the little pregnancy book, What to Expect While Expecting. Okay, well, this is what to do while waiting. Okay, let's get into it. While waiting for an inmate, because I'm guessing that you're a prison wife or you have something to do with prison. Maybe you have a loved one in prison. And even if it ain't a wife, it could be your brother, it could be your father. A lot of times it makes your life stand still because all you can think about is you want this person home. But guess what? You can't stop. You have to keep going. You have to move on. And life moves on. So what do you do while you're waiting? Okay, so I composed another list because right now I'm not good with just getting things right off the top of my head. Still got my little baby girl hair puffs. That's like you put in your little toddler's hair. But so I'm not good at coming straight off the top of my head. So I do have another list. So these are the 10 things that I have done while waiting for Marchello to come home. All right. Number 1. I made this number 1 because this is the biggest, most important thing that I have done while waiting for Marchello to come home. I raised my daughter, our daughter. And I didn't take that lightly. Like when I was given a role to be a parent, I really didn't know what type of role I was stepping into. But all I knew is at that point, when you become a parent, it's no longer about you. It's about two. It's about you and that child. Actually, this is a great time to plug this little video.
This one for you, baby girl. Party hard, living it up until the day you came. When you walked into my life, everything changed. Like Dr. Evil, now I got my own mini-me. Not all about me now, someone else depending on me. It was hard as hell with your father locked up in jail. Couldn't be your daddy, still his shoes. I try my best to feel. Battling loneliness and depression, still had you to shield. Though I was down level to the ground, I still had you to build. Get your education, try to instill in ya. Gave you the scoop on the boys, try to be real with ya. Eat your vegetables and get a good night of sleep and be weary about fate. Friends or shall I call them frenemies? Gave you all the jewels that I got from mom. I finally went back to college, hope you're proud of mom. I'm trying to lead you by example, cause still your future's bright. And I do it all again for you, baby girl, cause you're my life.
I did that video for baby girl. Yes, my mini-me. But that's the number 1 thing that I did while waiting. I continue to raise our daughter, and I wanted to give her the best life that she could ever want, think, or dream of. I did not want her to miss out on nothing. I knew she didn't have her father, and if it was a mother, maybe if she didn't have her mother, any child that is missing a parent, it's going to be something that's kind of lacking in that child. You know what I mean? It takes 2, and it really does take 2, not just to create the child, but to raise the child. It may take more than 2, but it takes at least 2. It's not as easy to do it with 1. And when you do it with 1, there is always going to be something that child is lacking. So I wanted to overcompensate for that because her dad was not there. That made me the mother role, but I also had to be the father role. And I was there all the time. And it was because I did not want her to ever say that, oh, I couldn't do this because my dad wasn't here, or I couldn't do that because my dad wasn't here. No, baby girl didn't miss out on nothing because dad wasn't here. All of her school functions, anything that she had going on, I was always there. Don't matter how tired, when she was in band, when she was in Boys and Girls Club, when she was doing cheerleading, when she did martial arts, anything that she did anything that she did, I was always right there. I remember one time, this is not actually in chronological order all the way. I just did it's somewhat in chronological order, but one day I used to do music, and I used to do these wild, crazy hair pieces because I am a cosmetologist, and I always did hair sculptures. And that was what brought attention to me as a rapper. That's how people would notice me from the stage, and they'll just pick out my hair piece. Okay, so I actually one day, I think I was going to see Pitbull. And I had this my wig was like fluorescent orange. This was before everybody started wearing all them different color hair. I had been doing that pre everybody else, the whole, rest of the world. I had been doing that. I had like this clown hair that I had got from a Halloween costume, and I got it rigged up into this hairpiece. I hope I can find it. If I can't find it, I'll show you something similar that I did, but I'll put it up right there. Actually, it's probably gonna be up there. Why would I put it down there? That don't make no sense. Okay, so I had the little orange hair, the hair piece. Now I don't know where I'm gonna put it. Put it up there. That could be a little dance. It's somewhere around there. Somewhere. It's somewhere. Anyway, I would wear these crazy hair pieces, and it was one day that my daughter, they would always have different showcases and stuff because they always wanted to show the kids talent. The Boys and Girls Club, they would do these dance routines, and they were so excited. It was for some kind of fall festival thing, and they were going to do Thriller. Money was so excited that they were doing the Thriller dance. It was so crazy, and she did not want me to miss it, but that was the same night as the Pitbull concert. But I'm like, there was no way I could miss Pitbull, and then there was no way that I could miss my daughter's Thriller performance, really. So I had to get ready for my concert, but I had a crazy like outfitted hairpiece on, and it was another time. Oh, how that ended, it was so crazy. She was so excited, but halfway through it, the CD that they had was scratched, so it just kept saying thir 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 thir. They didn't even get to complete the dance. It was towards the beginning too, but they were so like down. But the thing was that at least Money could say her mother was there. I was right there. I looked at like a crazo with this crazy orange hair, but I was always right there at every function for her. And it was another time that I don't know what I had to, it was some kind of teacher meeting, and I had these trees. Now I think I'm gonna put it over there. I had a picture. I got a picture, and I had these trees because I was trying to be like this flower girl. I was trying to be this natural girl. And I would always come up with different themes and different things that my outfit would be for different music conferences or concerts that I went to. And this one, I made my braids into like tree branches. The idea that I had in my head was these branches would like flow out from the top of my head, and they would have leaves on it. So it'd be like a tree. It didn't end up quite that way, but it was very similar. See? That's me. That's my creative side. Anyway, I couldn't take that right out. So I came to her teacher meeting with that on. And it was, I remember the little kids. Y'all wouldn't believe I started this video at 3 p.m. and it is 9 p.m. now. Marchello just hung up the phone. Okay. Anyway, so back to my story. So the little kids, they was like, oh my gosh, look. And one of the little girls was like, oh my gosh, Money's mom has trees in her hair. And that's the way that I actually came to her school. And I always asked her, was it embarrassing Because if it was embarrassing, I would not have done it. But Money was proud of it. She thought that, her mama is just doing the darn thing. Her mama what is this? Oh, her mama is going to be famous. She used to tell her little friends, yeah, when my mama get famous, you can ride in the limo with me. You can ride in the limo with me. Like, Money really was with it. And they all thought it was cool. She thought it was cool. So every teacher meeting, every assembly, everything, I was always there. When field trips would come around, she'd be like, Mom, are you going to be the chaperone? And I'd be thinking to myself, I worked overnight, full shift from 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. I'm sorry. And I would be tired. If you ever worked that night shift, you know what I'm talking about. And the field trip, you would have to be ready to leave about like 8:30, 9 o'clock. So she came to me and she was like, it was a field trip for the Boys and Girls Club because they did after school programs for them. And she was like, yes, my mommy wants to come. She wants to come. So I never forget. They took them on a field trip to the movies. That was, the movie was Ratatouille. Ratatouille. Okay, so I was like, okay, I'll go. I got there. Oh my gosh. I know it had to be so embarrassed. I was tired because I had worked that night. And I guess we got into our groups. I got on the bus and I fell asleep on the bus. And I snore. I know I snore. Snoring on the bus. Sitting right next to Money. She was so excited. She was like, this is my mommy. This is my mommy. Hi, this is my mommy. This is my mommy. And I was snoring on that bus. Then we got to the movie. I was snoring in the movie. Then I remember the ride back to the school. Like, they were singing little songs and stuff. And the counselors, they were entertaining the kids. And I was still right there snoring, snoring on that bus. But all I could remember is how excited she was for her mother to be on the field trip and be a chaperone. I don't know what type of chaperone I was. Guess I was chaperoning in my sleep, but baby, I still was there. So a lot of my time was devoted to our daughter, just raising her, giving her all that I can give. Now, I know I went overboard, but it was just me. Okay, so number 2, outside of school, that was just school I'm telling you about. Okay, outside of school, every weekend we had something planned. Now, I did not have a lot of money, but doing things with your child does not actually take a lot of money. I know things are kind of crazy now because you can't really go this place, that place. But back then I was a single mother. I only had one income, but it stayed to where she was doing stuff. Like, I didn't want her to miss out on nothing. So I remember one time she wanted to go to Disney. Her nana had told her she was going to take her to Disney, and that ended up falling through. So I couldn't, like, it broke my heart that my child could not, like, we got to the Disney gates and she couldn't go in. And that really just broke my heart. I hate to see a child upset or, disappointed or anything. So I was like, no, my child's going to Disney. So I was like, I was going to, back then you could go on your birthday for free. And I ended up buying her the child's ticket. So it was like $90 something. And we were going to go. But my birthday fell on a weekday that I had to work. And it was like, I'm like, so it doesn't matter how, tired I am. I actually worked that night. Went to Disney. Walked up and down, up and down, up and down Disney. Got on that ferry. I remember being on that ferry. I was so sleepy when I seen them fireworks going up. I was so tired. Dropped her off and went back to work. I think I only had a short nap because we didn't go to Disney until about noonish. So I got a little bit of nap until it was time to go out there. And I was so tired. My back hurted like crazy. It was on fire. My feet were on fire. But luckily I was the door greeter and I was able to lean up against the little ice machine and have my little buggy in front of me. And I went to work. I was so tired. But you know what? When I got off, I crashed. But you know what? It doesn't matter because my daughter got to go to Disney. Yeah. She ain't missed nothing. Nothing. Sleepovers. every weekend it was like her and a group of friends were having sleepovers, and it was like my house was the place to be because I go buy them food. They have movies, crafts. I'm kind of goofy and silly. I don't know if you can see that from the videos, but I love to play around. I love to joke. I have a sarcastic sense of no, I have a sarcastic sense of humor, so I love to sporadically a joke will just hit me in my head, and I just have to tell it to the next person around. So that's how I am. I'm goofy, dancing, and acting crazy. Like that's really me. That's my spirit. That's how I am. And I guess kids are attracted to that. My daughter, her friends always loved that about me. And every weekend we was going places and if I have to pedal for my life, I ain't gonna be able to. I would go on the radio website and find out where they gonna be. We go to all types of festivals. It was a lot of free stuff. If we couldn't find nothing to do, we'd go out to the park. We'd go to the lake. We'd do all kinds of stuff. It was always something we were going to do. So I spent every waking moment with my child while I was waiting for him to come home. That's number one and two. Every moment was devoted to her, just about. And that's why most of this video is devoted to her. Number three, the third thing that I did while waiting for Marchello to come home. Okay, so now we're going to rewind some. So when he left, it was about 2002, and my daughter was in daycare at that time, and I could not afford daycare. He was paying for that, and because that whole income was taken and that whole second parent was taken from the family, I could no longer afford to pay for daycare. So I was like, I might as well watch my own child. But if you watch your own child, then you don't have an income. So that's how I ended up on the overnight shift. That way I can keep my child and I can work and everything can work out right. That's how it worked out in my head, but it didn't work out in real life like that. But that's how I ended up overnight. Okay, so when I ended up finding out that I was pregnant, actually, I did talk about this in my Draw My Life series. So please check those out. It's several videos. It's not even done. I recorded them and never even finished them, but it's really good. I illustrated each frame of this. I illustrated all of it. I do the most. I do way too darn much. Way too much. But in that one, I talk about when I found out that I was pregnant. And the one thing that stuck in my head was my dad, what he said to me. And he asked me, he said, "Keita, are you pregnant?" And I was like, "I don't know." Because back then the results weren't so fast. And I was like, "I don't know." And he was like, "Well, if you are, your life is over." And I thought he was coming from a mean, harsh place, but he actually was coming from a real place like, yes, 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 your life is over. It's that child's life. What you wanted to do is over. It's done, which I didn't understand that. So me being who I was, when he told me that, I was like, yeah, I'm going to show him. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And having a child is not going to hold me back. I'm going to make it. And that's when I got on this crazy, I always had to excel. I got to do this. I got to do this because then this is when I'm going to show them that they were wrong about how life really is. I'm going to be more than what they thought I was going to be. And that's where that over excelling started taking place in my life. And I was going to show my dad that, no, I'm not that. I'm not that. Even though I messed up, I had her out of wedlock, father's in prison, but I'm not that. That's not me. I'm more than that. I'm gonna make it, and that's what I thought in my head. And so after I had my child money, I went back to college. I returned back to college. Marchello was in jail, and I thought that I was gonna go ahead and I think I was doing something that they call commercial art, which is now graphic design, and I was not was not really college material back then. I wasn't actually cataloged in graphic design. Well, I'm sorry, commercial art. So when they dropped those courses, because that was not something big in Orlando at that time, when they dropped those courses, they took me out of the class. If I had been cataloged in, I could have, finished then, but I didn't. So I was like, I got put into, I think I did legal secretary, and then somehow I ended up doing billing and coding. I don't even know why or how I even ended up doing that, but that's what I ended up in. But I was going to finish school no matter what. I returned back, and I remember being in class and having this baby sitting on my lap. And as I'm trying to type up my papers, because in college there's so many papers and I can't type, so I would be pecking all night, and she's deleting stuff as I'm pecking, and I'm like, oh my God, it was way too much. So I did complete a lot of courses back then, though. I got all my math courses out of the way. I got all my science. Oh my gosh. Okay. It is like after 10:30 and I'm still not done with this video. Sidetracked again. Got the baby packed up to go back home. Talked to Marchello again on the phone. And now here I am back. So I'm realizing this video getting long, so I thought about it, and my mind always, comes up with a quick answer. So I'm going to have an extended version of this video that will include the full thing, and I'm going to make a condensed version that's going to be better for YouTube, because YouTube, they say people don't have attention spans. They want you to get to it like that. So I will have that video, same topic, like that, and I have my extended version, so my true fans will watch my extended version. All right, so let's get back into that list. So where I left off is I finished my sciences, but ultimately I ended up having to stop college. I had some issues with financial aid, and plus it was just way too much doing that with a child. So we get into number 4. Number 4, I am not going to dwell on this one too much. Not too long. Not even going to stay on this but a minute. But I did talk about this in my Draw My Life too, if you really want to hear that full version, because that's not even me anymore, but I did go there. I did go there. But if you want to hear that full version, it will be linked in the description box, Draw My Life. But and I'll label it. But number 4, to be honest, while BAE was away. While BAE was away. I like that. That should be the title instead of what to do while waiting. While BAE is away. Yeah. While BAE was away, I actually contemplated and was going after a stripping career. Yes. I was trying to get that money up. Like, how else do you get stacks on stacks on stacks? Like, for real. Like, come on now. So if you want to see that full description of what happened during that, check out the Draw My Life. But I'm gonna breeze past that because that's the past. So number 5. Okay, so the college didn't work. The stripping career did not work. So what I ended up trying, number 5, I went to cosmetology school. Yes, your girl was the best at doing hair. Like, I used to braid. Like, my hands would move like so fast just braiding. And I had all these crazy, weird ideas in my head. So I was a great braider and I was a great hairstylist. My hair was always on point. So I went to hair school. I thought, if I could make the type of money that I'm making out here, just braiding hair, doing people's hair that I know, why not go and make it a full career? That was crazy. That was from year 2003 to 4. Yeah. But It didn't turn out too well because I got in a salon and I had to quit due to the corporate tunnel. But yeah, I went and got my cosmetology license, and I do keep that license up. So your girl is still a licensed cosmetologist. Oh, I do got a song for that. I'll save that to the end of this video. Yeah, I get to see my cosmetologist rap. Stay tuned for that. All right. So number 6. This is my heart. Yes. Number 6. My rapping career. Yes, because I am a writer and I flipped them poems into songs, and I went after a full-fledged rapping career while BAE was away. Yes, I went after a rapping career mostly to get out songs about, his case. But when that wasn't happening, I released some other songs that was hot. Like they was radio worthy and club like worthy. And I had fun going to music conferences. I would be mother do that's where my saying came from. Super rapping woman, single mother by day, super rapping woman by night. Because during the day I was at home with the daughter and taking care of her and stuff. But at night, I was going to music conferences, I was going to clubs, I was performing on stages, I was doing all types of stuff. And a lot of times, right after that, if I couldn't get the night off, I was heading straight to work, and then getting off of work and then getting back to my child. Did all that while Babe was away. Boy, I used to love, and besides the songwriter, I wanted to be a songwriter before I even decided that I wanted to be a rapper. But I ended up rapping because I could never find anybody to sing my songs, like anybody that was as serious. Like they would take my song lyrics and never learn them or anything. So I figured one day, hey, I'm gonna rap them. So I did a whole full rap career and promotion and everything while Babe was away. That's crazy. Songwriter conferences, music seminars, music conferences, club nights, whatever you can think of, meet and greets. And then when I started the project Reach the World, I started meeting all these famous people, like famous person after famous person, and getting my project to them. And I couldn't wait to tell Marchello the stories of all the people I met. Like it was every week I'm writing him letters of how it was to meet this person, how it was to meet that person. And I got my artwork to this person and artwork to that person. So I did a whole music career while waiting for a babe. Okay. Oh yeah, I can't leave out all the numerous concerts. Concerts, that is my favorite thing to go to. Concerts, I love music. I love all kinds of music. I love all kinds of artists. So a lot of my Project Reach the World, that if you don't know about Project Reach the World, that will be linked in the description box. I'm not telling you to check all these things out. I'm just telling you where everything is that you can find it if you want to learn more. But my Project Reach the World was something that I created to help to use my art to get Marcello's story out to the world. So Project Reach the World, because I wanted everybody to know his story. So by me being music head, like I love, like I'm a hip hop head, like for real, like hip hop to the core. And I'm a rapper as well, so I love music. I hear melodies in my head, I hear beats in my head, and sometimes I can't even sleep because I hear like a tempo or this or that. And so I love music. I love concerts. Any concert that was worth going to, I was going to it. I mean, all types of concerts. So if it was something my daughter wanted to go to, my daughter was going to all types of concerts when she was a little kid. I always buy, if she can come. If she wasn't old enough to get in, then I was taking my cousin. Some concerts I had to attend by myself, but I was an avid concert goer, like for real. I'm the biggest fan, and I'm for real. I really love music like that. Like music touches your soul. It gets beyond where just regular words can get. So every time you look around, babe, like Kita, babe, where you going? What are you doing this weekend? Oh, I'm going to this concert. Oh, I'm going to that concert. Only concert I did not get to go to. My favorite person, and she was coming here in 2020, and all I asked for was, because I was graduating, I did all that in school. All I wanted was my family to get together and get enough money to get me an Alicia Keys ticket to her concert coming to Orlando. But the shutdown happened. They wasn't even getting it together anyway. But that's all I wanted. That's the one person that I just love to life that I have not seen in concert and I have not gotten to meet. Like all my other favorite artists, I have gotten to meet them. But not Alicia Keys. Oh my God. Like for real. But they rescheduled her concert this year. So y'all, come on now. If y'all would like to, y'all can raise the money and send me to that Alicia Keys concert. I mean, I'm worth it. I did 5 years in college at 30 something, mid 30s. Like, tell me how easy that was. It wasn't. Like for real. But yeah, concerts. That's a lot of things that I did while Bae was away. Number 7, I am an artist. I've been an artist since I was 11 years old. So I thought, Bae is gone, trying to get Bae back home. So go ahead, let's use that artwork. Maybe I can become a famous artist, like for real, like before I die. Because most artists don't get famous till they die. Like, why wait? But anyway, so I decided, why not put my all into, I didn't know how to draw, so I taught myself how to paint. I started using paints and I got better over time. Acrylic paint mostly, but I can use oil. I'm very versatile. The only thing I really cannot quite do is airbrush, but I've done it. I'm going to show you. Look, 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 look. I did that with airbrush, but I'm not that great at it. But yes, so I wanted to go after a full-fledged art career. I started drawing and painting different scenes about dealing with this prison experience and the toll that it has on the family and what it does to society and this and that. And I added those to that Project Reach the World. Like everything falls under Project Reach the World. Though there are certainly different types of art forms, it's still the same basis. So I started going to where you would do the artist submissions and stuff, where you would submit a piece and they would have art nights. They would have different gallery nights. You can have your art on the wall. You pick your prize and people come in, view your artwork. And I did that for a while. Orlando does have an art scene. And they would have, like, it was a couple of places I went. It was a very, oh my gosh, this guy, Tim, he really just took me like up under his wing. And they would have this, it was on Saturdays. I think it was the last Saturday of every month. And it was open call to artists. Like, he didn't charge you anything. And he also, if you made any money off of your artwork, he didn't take anything from you. It was really for you, the artist. And they would have African drums and all types of stuff. It was like a jam session. You know, it it was crazy. But I would attend that, and we'd kind of sit out on the street with our artwork and stuff. Needless to say, I didn't sell anything, but I learned a lot and kind of networked a little bit. It's hard for me sometimes to come out my shell, but I mean, that exposed me. Like, how can you learn to swim if you're never thrown in the water? So yeah, shots out to Tim. I do have an interview with him. Okay, I know y'all, I'm bombarding y'all with this description box. My interview with Tim is in the description box. Only pick the videos you really want to watch, because I want you to finish this video. Anyway, besides that, it was another place, the city, what was it, City Arts Factory. Oh my gosh, I can't remember what it was, but it was this very nice gallery that was downtown Orlando, and I submitted a couple pieces, usually for the Dia de los Muertos celebration. I hope I'm saying that right, but the Day of the Dead. I've done 2 pieces, 2 submissions for that. I can link those. I know y'all don't want to see that. But they're there. Anyway, I did those pieces for it. The first one was hung by the bathroom. I'm like, by the bathroom, for real? But they was like, girl, look, everybody gonna see your artwork because it's by the bathroom. Who don't gotta use the bathroom tonight? But yeah, but they were more intrigued by my hair piece. That, I guess that art was the one that really got their attention. But yeah, I actually went after a whole, like, real fine arts career, but that kind of didn't work. Still, all while waiting for BAE. So I never actually waited for him just sitting and waiting. I waited on him moving forward, moving my gifts forward, moving my knowledge forward, just moving forward, just trying to move my child's knowledge forward, cultivating her and cultivating me, and trying to also stay with, keep our relationship together. This is not numbered, but also visitations. In 2011, they actually moved him a good distance away from the house, like really close, to where 2011 we were able to strengthen our bond, because for almost 6 years he was right in the same he wasn't in the same county, but he was in the same vicinity as us. And that's how, for all these years while BAE was away, we were able to stay connected. And that's what I did while BAE was away. So, yeah. All right, number 8, what I did while BAE was away. And that was me and my daughter. We both joined martial arts classes. Anything my daughter wanted to go after, whether it was cheerleading, no matter what. No matter what the cost was, I would pay it and let her do it. She wanted to be a model. I put her in modeling courses and stuff like that. So, and competitions. So no matter what she wanted to do, we're going to do it. We're going to try it. So went to martial arts. I was putting her in martial arts, and the instructor was like, come on, Mom, get in here. And I'm like, what? Like, for real, I'm finna get in there. But yeah, I got out there. And I ended up joining, and we did martial arts together for a few years. It was a while, but by me being so busy, I was lagging behind, and I couldn't get up to the level I needed to, or thought that I should be at. I know they were saying, take it at your own pace, but my pace is snail pace when I'm all over the place. That rhymes. Oh my God. I wasn't even trying to do that. I was not even trying to do that, but that did rhyme. But yeah, but martial arts taught me so much. Like, physically, I started when I was like 30, I believe. And the thing was, at 30, everything breaks down. Everything breaks down, just self-destructs. And actually, I was able to become more flexible, move more, have less aches and pains and stuff like that, just due to going to martial arts. And also, mentally, not just the self-defense part, because y'all remember that video where I was telling y'all about someone breaking in on me and stuff like that. So not only did I get the self-defense part to be able to protect my daughter and myself, I also mentally, they push you beyond your limits, because the limit is in your mind. And I'm talking, I know I'm not the one to talk, but the limit is in your mind. You put the limit there. I put the limit there. I would always tell you, I can't do that. I can't do that. And then I turn around and do it because they pushed me to do it. It wasn't that I couldn't do it. It was because I thought I couldn't do it. So martial arts was a big deal. I actually ended up at brown belt. I stopped doing brown belt because I ended up going to college, and it was kind of conflicting. College was taking my whole life, like my whole life. So I couldn't do both, unfortunately, so I had to stop. But yes, that's one big thing I did: testing, breaking boards, all types of stuff. Like maybe one day I'll show y'all a little bit. If y'all want that, you gotta let me know in the description box, because I ain't trying to show you nothing you don't want to see.
On the count of three, break your board. 1, 2, 3.
But yeah, that's one thing that we did together while BAE was away. The number 9 thing that I did while BAE was away was college. I went from being an artist to a graphic designer and web designer. I finally enrolled in school. If you've been following me, you know at age 35, I finally finished school at 39. While in school, I was making sure that my daughter, when I started school, she was midway through high school. So I really wanted her to go to college. So I made sure that she would get her grades up, put her in all types of activities. I had to make sure she was doing volunteer work all while I was still in school. It came to the point where I was going to have to volunteer with her because she was too young to volunteer on her own. I was at all types of meetings for scholarships, scholarship nights. I was at all types of stuff, anything that had to do with different clubs she was in. And I mainly focused on getting her in college, because all this time while you're waiting for your loved one, like the time just goes like this. You don't realize it. It feels like it's moving slow, but it moves fast. And the thing is, my baby was small enough to fit under my arm, and all of a sudden she's about to go to college, and I'm like, oh my God, I haven't saved a dime for her to go to college, because I always was supposed to get myself on track, but that never happened. It never happened. And I hadn't saved not one red dime for her to go to school. Anyways, the phone just keeps stopping, so I'm gonna do it with the audio on my computer. So I hadn't saved no money for her to go to college. So it was like, that's not gonna be, a possibility that she doesn't go. Like, I want the best for her in life. So no matter what I had to go through to get her to that point, she was at least going to get to college. So that was a big focus, her schooling. And even before that, it was the homework. Like, she, through elementary, like, she struggled with depression and stuff and anxiety by her father being gone. So it wasn't that easy for her to just do her schoolwork. Like, I went through a thing, and she didn't just sit down and do it. This took all evening to do this little bit of homework. So, but that was one of my biggest priorities: getting her through school, getting her to the best level that she can be at. So while I was in school, I was also trying to get my daughter like prepared for college. And during senior year, there is a lot going on. Is getting ready for graduation, is the cap and gowns, attending meetings about senior packages, the rings and t-shirts and all of that, and finding out information about ordering that stuff, grad bash, taking her to grad bash, picking her up, her and her friends. She wanted t-shirts made, and the t-shirts, I designed them. I got them printed up. I tried my best to print them myself. But when it wasn't working out, I ended up having to turn it over to a printer and let them do it because I really was trying to do all of that. But I did design the t-shirt. Then she wanted at her graduation party, I rented out a hotel for her to have a pool party, and she wanted a big banner of herself painted and put on the wall. I worked on that. And then this banner later, she wanted everyone to hold it up at her graduation. Like she wanted to be the star, which she actually was a star because she did really good. Then the little graduation fans, you know how people have the fans? She wanted the most. She wanted a fan with her face on it. So I designed that in Photoshop. Then I printed them up and I actually assembled the fans. Then she had talent shows because she was in different organizations and they had their senior talent show. Then there's assemblies for all of her award ceremonies from both schools because she was in tech school and receiving awards. And she also was in high school at the same time receiving awards. So we were going to all the award nights, and then there I am, right after the award night, rushing into work. No matter how tired I was, I had to work that night shift. Prom. She was looking for her prom dress. The money is prom. Everything. Her prom was planning like things that she wanted. She wanted me to be her photographer and trying to find her dress and stuff. Her nana ended up getting her dress, but we couldn't for the life of us find the shoes to match it. So I'm like all over town from this side of Orlando to the other looking for some shoes to match her prom dress. It was so much. Then I spent a long time editing all her prom pictures, and it was just so much. When graduation came around, I planned her a graduation party, and it would be her, I believe, 18th birthday party. No, it couldn't have been. Wow, I don't know. But it was, I think it was 18th birthday party that was coming up as well. And I was deep into school, like projects due. And graphic design projects and web design projects are intensive. They take a lot of work. And it was like the minute I got an assignment, I started right away, but I was always the one lagging behind. Number one, I have disabilities that makes me take longer to create. And not to mention my vision. My vision is bad. It was hard to see things. It was hard to do things because of the carpal tunnel. My herniated disc would play a role in me sitting at the computer for hours upon hours. And also during this time, Marcello ended up getting transferred like 2.5 hours away, where he was really close to the house. So I wasn't missing any visitation. So it was me getting on the road with my neck like feeling like it was swollen, wearing ice packs, like sitting on ice packs on my butt while I'm driving, trying to get to visitation, sit down at visitation all day with sciatica, get back home just to not even go to bed because I have a big project due in the morning. It was so much. And then it also seemed like every time I had a big project in school due, it seems as though my daughter would get sick or have to go to the doctor. There's so many times she had to go to the doctor, and I had one of the biggest projects due. And it wasn't like I can tell the teacher, hey, I had to take my daughter to the emergency room. They don't care about that. I'm telling you, it's either turn your stuff in or get a zero. And it was hard, like beyond hard, but I don't know what other word to use besides that. But it was not an easy thing. It was not picking her up, like having to, and she had a counselor in high school that really just did not care. And I'm like, she was about to make her miss her chance for her scholarship because my daughter, we didn't know she had to do the we didn't know she had to do volunteer work, and it had got almost too late, and my daughter was like, I just give up. I said, no, you don't. I said, the due date is coming up, but it ain't here yet. We had her volunteered at 2 or 3 different places, and she was adding all these volunteer hours together. And the thing was, the counselor, this girl got it together, did all this. I had to take her many times, wait on her, pick her up from this one, drop her back off to that one, trying to get those volunteer hours in on time. Not to mention my schoolwork and still working overnight. But the counselor wouldn't log in her hours. And it got to the due date, and she still, like, I would call her, and I'm like, her transcript is not reflecting the hours. Oh, it's okay, I'm gonna do it. And then I have to call her again. Her transcript is not reflecting the hours. Please, lady, like, do you understand what we went through to try to get her this scholarship? It got all the way down to the day. Like, the lady kept lying to me, telling me she's updated. Like, she just didn't freaking care. We had to get all the way up to talking to the principal. And I'm like, lady, listen, please. I am a single mother. I have been working hard to get my child to college, and you really want to be the reason my child does not get this scholarship? I said, do you know what I've been through? Do you know what she's been through? And you really want to look at her and tell her that you were the reason she didn't get the scholarship just because you dropped the ball? Like, I had to sit on that counselor's back. In school hours, I worked overnight. So, school hours, I really want to be in my bed sleep. But my daughter would call me and text me and say, Mom, my counselor has not put in my hours yet. I don't know what to do. She doesn't care. And I thought my daughter was just bluffing. But when I talked to that counselor and realized she really don't care, oh my God, I jumped my behind up. And I was at that school every day before my own classes, and then having to return back to work. So yes, it was a lot. And school for both of us was a major, and it took a lot of time. And that's one of the things I did do while BAE was away. Oh yeah, and what I forgot to mention was I actually was enrolled in a college, but there are multiple campuses. And because I was doing graphic design, my graphic design classes were at one campus that was close to where I live, not too far, maybe 15 minutes. And the other campus where I did my web design classes was clear across town. When I would have to get to class, it would be traffic stacked on traffic. So it was times when I had a class on this side of town, class on that side of town, would have to sleep in the parking lot, and an hour later have to clock in to work. And not to mention the day that my assignment, this big website, was due. I got out of class about 5. By the time I get across town out that traffic and get to my job, I didn't even go home because it wasn't enough time for me to go home. I would go straight to work and sleep in the parking lot for like 2 hours before I start my overnight shift. And that day, my computer freaking crashed and my website was due. I was about to lose everything. That day, I didn't get no sleep. I stayed up over 48 hours straight. Number 10 is YouTube. After I finished school and got her to college, and she's just about done with college, I graduated, but I graduated in the middle of a pandemic, unable to go to the internship. I completed one internship while I was in the middle of one internship and had to stop that one and do that like remotely from home. And the next internship that I did have lined up, that was a no-go because of the pandemic and everything. So instead of just sitting home, I did start sitting home depressed and anxious because we don't know what's going on. Like, the way they making this out to be, this is the end of all ends, and it's like that's too much. Like I can't take all of that stress and stuff, and not being able to see him, not knowing if he's okay, ain't really no emails going through, no phone calls. It was just way too much, and no visits, of course. So it was too much. And I got to the point where it was like I had to do something. And I channeled all that energy because I remember taking a walk one day and I was like, I'm just finna quit everything. Like I had literally was on the verge of giving every single thing up. Not that I'm not always like that, but I was really to that point now because it was just too much. Like this was the end. Like it's too much going on. And I remember taking a walk one day, and I was like walking around my neighborhood fast as heck because that was like the only thing, the highlight of the day, going for our walk, and then going getting some crushed up ice from Wawa or Publix. That was actually Wawa stopped serving it during that pandemic, the beginning of the pandemic. So it was Publix, the only one that had my crushed ice. So we'll walk and like just walk, walk, walk. And one day I went on one of these long walks by myself and I was just angry. It was so much anger because I'm like, I spent all this time trying to be an artist and this and that. Can't get nobody to watch the first thing I post. Can't get nobody to do this. Ain't no support nowhere. Ain't nobody liking nothing, sharing nothing. I post on Facebook. Don't nobody do nothing. It's like I'm sitting there talking to a wall, but they don't realize how much is hanging in the balance of Facebook. This ain't just Facebook for me. This is not just YouTube for me. This is, I want my freaking husband home for me. That's what this is. And it's like making all this content for nothing really is annoying. Like for real, if you're a content creator, you know that it pisses you off. Honestly, you get to that point where you're just really angry. And that's why a lot of people quit, because majority people, if they don't reach that threshold where the ball is rolling and people are watching their content and engaging and stuff like that, they quit because it's just, it's pointless. So I was like, if I'm gonna try one last time, but if it doesn't work, like, but I'm gonna try it the correct way. I'm gonna learn the exact way to do this. And if it doesn't work, then I'm just done with everything. I hang up the shelf and I just wait until, my life just expires. I just sit back and just wait and not do anything anymore because I'm tired of doing the most for nothing. I really am. I swear I'm tired of that point. So I said, I'm going to learn how to do this correctly. And that's when I just went on YouTube. I said I was going to take each social media one by one and learn them, learn the ins and out of them. And I started with YouTube and I just stuck with YouTube. And I started just watching all the content creations I could, like learning how to do this, how to do that. And then I started watching some of my favorite YouTubers so that I can see how they do things. Like one of my biggest was Ro Clausen, and the other one was Christina Randall. Oh my gosh. Like I love Christina Randall's videos. And then Jessica Kent. Actually, my whole Draw My Life is like in dedication to her because I got that idea while watching her draw my life. And I got the name Draw My Life Prison Wife in dedication from watching Jessica Kent's Draw My Life, which is crazy. But I said this was going to be it. So from there, I ended up enrolling in YouTube courses. I'm like that, like for real on this subject. I'm that for real. And I'm a student. Ever since I went back to school, it's like, if I don't know something, I'm going to research and figure this out because everything you can figure out, you can find out, you can learn. And I learned that through school. So I'm like, I enrolled in courses, Shine Candle courses. It is quite a bit of money, but you know what? That's my education. I'm learning. So you can't put no type of value, like worth, like monetary value on your knowledge. Like knowledge is like the biggest amount that you can think of. Like don't cap your knowledge because you have to pay for something. So I paid for my Sean Cannell courses, and just today, yes, I just enrolled in Erin on Demand's her group. Like, for real. So I'm in two different, like, they're big time YouTubers and they're teaching other YouTubers how to get to that point. And yes, I had to pay for that one. But you know what? That's my education and that's an investment in myself. I was never scared to invest in myself. When that music, when it was music, I didn't care what it costed to get beats, to get studio time, to go to all these expensive music conferences, because that's an investment in myself. When it was time for my daughter, I was not scared to put money for any dream she had. Those modeling things that she went to, those were way more than my music, my different things I did in music. Modeling, you put a lot of money out. But I was not going to let money be a reason I didn't try to do something. But also by me being a graphic designer and I dabbled in photography, I took her headshots, I edited them, I did a lot of things myself. You know, I made her little cards that she had to give out and stuff like that. But yeah, so those are the things that I did. I'm sure I did way more because it has been almost 20 years. Not to mention, I got my family. I have, I do a lot with my family. Like I'm a very family oriented person. So don't forget about that. So it's been a lot. It's been a long time. And he's not due to come home for another 22 more years. So I guess I got to fill those 22 years with something else. But yeah, if this video was too long for you, or if you stayed to the end, if you were able to stay to the end, that means you are a true fan riding with your girl Cadillac. Please give me the black heart emoji if you got to this point. Because I know you a true rider and I know that you truly support me. Yeah, here's your girl Cadillac. Oh yeah, forgot. I promised y'all that cosmetology wrap. Sorry I can't put this on video, but this phone keep filling up. I had to chop this up in several videos. I would have to upload it and then go back, erase it off my phone, upload the next one, erase it off. That's way too much. So I finished it out with audio. But here it is. It is, I call it fried, dyed, laid to the side. My hair fried, dyed, laid to the side. Look how it glistens and it shines in the light. My hair fried, dyed, laid to the side. Dudes looking cause my hair looking right. My hair fried, dyed, laid to the side. Don't hate cause you know your girl looking good. Fried, dyed, laid to the side. Well, here's my number. Call me up. I'll give you the hook up on the do. Still doing hair out the kitchen. Hey, now I got my license now. And that was when I had to keep it on the down. Your girl legit. I went to school and I finished it. Walk across the stage. Now I'm a licensed cosmetologist. When can you hook a sister up? Girl, sit down in this chair. We about to do some wonder work into this hair. It's unbelievable now, but can you imagine with me? Some dreads, two-strand twist extensions, or some twisties. The finished product, girl, you know you're looking good. We about to turn a few heads up in the hood. And if they ask you who hooked you up, tell them who. Cause word of mouth, the best money making till my hair fried, dyed, laid to the side. Look how it glistens and it shines in the light. My hair fried, dyed, laid to the side. Her dudes looking, cause my hair looking right. My hair fried, dyed, laid to the side. Hey, don't hate, cause you know your girl looking good. Fried, dyed, laid to the side. Well, here's my number. Call me up. I give you the hook up on the do. Yeah, it's your girl Cadillac. Hi guys. Welcome back. It's actually hours later. I told y'all I'll be right back. It's 5 hours later. But I had to tilt it a little bit because there was just this shadow I cannot get rid of because it is later in the evening now. It's actually nighttime and I was recording that during the day. So my lighting has changed somewhat. So all right, guys, so I had to tilt it a little bit because there is this shadow that I just cannot get rid of. So in this video, I'm going to tell you the 10 things. It's probably more, but we're going to narrow it down to 10 things that I have done while waiting for Marchello. What to do while waiting. Hi guys, welcome back. It's actually hours later. I told y'all I'll be right back. It's 5 hours later. Hi guys, I'm back. To be honest with y'all, Hi guys, I'm back. To be honest with y'all, it is 5 hours later, but I'm just getting back. Okay, so let's get into the video. What's this shadow? Now my lighting is different. Okay, guys, I'm sorry. I cannot get that shadow to remove. So just deal with it for a few moments with me. Just hang tight. I'll try to make it as short as possible. Actually, that's not going to work. I have no idea why that camera stopped.